Hello guys, welcome to Cajun Homestead and Beekeeping. Today I'm going to be getting into two nuc boxes of two queens that I had brought back from some other hives that I split that they were fixing to swarm. So I picked up the queens out of the hives, put them in some pro nuc boxes, and today we're going to put them into their own little hive. They're starting to fill up those pro nucs, and hopefully they're doing okay. It's the first time I've checked on them in about a week. And I'm going to kind of explain to like the new beekeeper what all you need to transfer something from a pro nuc to or just any nuc that you buy into a regular hive. So with that said, let's get started. Hey, to the new beekeeper that's going to be starting out with a new hive, and they just got them a nuc, and you want to transfer them to your hive, you're going to need to get you a bottom board for your hive, and you're going to need your top cover for your hive. And right here I got for this one I'm going to be using an inner cover, because what I got here is what they call a telescoping cover, and it sits too flat on top of the hive. So you put this little inner cover in here and it gives them a little bee space. Then I got some little boards to use as like entrance reducers, because since we're going to be moving them into this big hive, we don't want other bees come and intrude on them. We're going to need a smoker with some fuel. And today I'm going to put some feed on them, so I mixed up some sugar water and I'm going to be putting a jar on them. And I also made some little pollen patties to put each one of them a small pollen patty. And then on the bottom right here I got some concrete blocks. We're going to be putting this as our base to keep them off the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and set it up, and then we're going to transfer them over. Okay, we got our smoker lit. Just to give them a little bit of smoke. What I did, I moved the nuc hive off of the spot where I had it. It's been here for a week. Moved it forward That way the bees can still come find their way in, and we're going to just transfer them over to the new hive, and then we're going to just move this nuke out the way and they'll find their way right in. Okay, let's see what we got in here. Looks like it's full. We look pretty calm. Give them just a little bit of smoke just to make them go down. Let them know I'm here. I'm going to separate these real slowly because we don't know where the queen's at. 5 frames in a big hive like this, she could be anywhere. Pull it out real slow. Just glancing for her. This is mostly just some pollen and honey. Or should I say nectar they're bringing in. And what I forgot to tell you was I brought 3 empty frames to finish filling up. This is an 8-frame box. I like these 8-frame boxes. If you got back trouble or stuff like that, they're much easier to lift up. Okay, this frame looks pretty empty. Got a little bit of nectar around the bottom here. And we're going to put them in the same position they're coming out of the nuke. I'm surprised at how calm these bees are. And there's our queen right there. And she's got a nice, these are all her bees. Let me see if I can get you a closer shot of her. See her right there with that big yellow dot? Now she's a last year queen, but I went ahead and that's the only marker I had. Actually, she's like last fall, so this will be her first spring. I'm going to go ahead and place her right in. And she's got another full frame on this side of brood. These pronucs, you got to be careful because when you pull them up, you could roll bees from one side of these arms right here. And she's got another little nice frame of brood. Both sides, it's all laid up with larvae and eggs in the empty spots. And our last frame, more brood. So this hive is fixing to explode. And there's a lot of pollen on this frame right here. A lot of different colors they're bringing in. So what I'm going to do, oh no, there's brood on this side, so I'm just going to go ahead and put them in position like they were. Okay, and I'm going to take one frame and stick on this side. That way I'll have 2 on this side. Scoot them over. Then I'm going to put the other one on this side. And that's going to give me 8 frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to center them up. Okay, I'm going to put a little pollen patty on them. Right here in the center. We're just going to lay that inner cover on top. Put the cover on. And as you can see, there's not very many bees left in that nuke. A lot of the field bees are out. And I see one of my evil enemies, hive beetle. First one I've seen. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this on the side for now. I got about 4 or 5 bees left in there. We're going to let these other bees find their way in. Okay, I'm going to set you up for the other one. Okay, I got you all set up for the second one. Let's take this cover off. Wow, these are full also. Okay, let me just give them just a little puff of smoke. Okay, I'm gonna take that hive tool, separate that first frame. Real slow. Check for our queen. There is a bunch of larvae on this frame, so she's been here. Got some drones. Solid pollen on this side. I mean, the whole frame is just solid pollen. Okay. I don't see the queen. So we're gonna go ahead and set it in the box. And I'm gonna go ahead and put my frame on this side, and that's gonna be our first frame. Slide them all the way over. Break open the second one. Wow. I mean, it is just solid brood from wall to wall. And she's laid up this other side where she doesn't have brood. I mean, look at this, guys. Look at this side. Let me make sure I'm getting that in the camera. You cannot ask for a queen to do any better. I mean, she has just... There's nowhere to put honey or pollen. Okay, and I don't see her on this frame. So we're going to put her in there safely, or put her brood in there safely. I'm going to check out the next one. Don't see her on that side. Don't see her on this side. Still a lot of brood. A lot of brood. Okay. Again, careful. Okay, I see something I don't want to see. I'm going to tear them down. They're so packed out they were making little... Good thing they're dry. I'm going to tear them down. There's nothing in them. And there's our queen. Let me show her to you real quick. There she is right there. So she's a good layer. I'm glad we didn't let her swarm. I'm going to place her in there. And our last frame. Looks like they have another cup right here. We're going to tear that down. And she's got this frame all laid up. I mean, they do have nectar in this section, nectar and pollen, but all in the center is all fresh eggs. And I see another cup I missed. Dry. So they were getting ready to think about swarming. Okay, so I'm going to put that one in. We're going to add our new frames in on the side, give them some space. I'm going to scoot them over to the center. And the reason you want to scoot them over to the center, because if you leave these frames cracked open a little bit, they will build a lot of propolis between these ears of these frames. And every time you go to use your, like you can see I got propolis right here. So at one time I had left these two too far apart. That propolis builds up, and then after a while you can't get your frames in your box because it makes the frames thicker and thicker. Let me show you something. Look at that. This is propolis. It's like a, oh, I dropped it down in there, but it's, in the summertime it's chewy like gum. Okay, so I got them centered up. I'm going to grab them a pollen patty. Smoke them out the way a little bit. If you can, smoke them as little as possible. I mean, smoke them just enough to make them go down. You don't want to run the smoke all the way down to the bottom of the box. When I first started, I would do that. I would smoke them a lot, and I don't know if it was the cause or not, but every now and then I would lose a queen. It's like when you get them so angry, they can actually kill their own queen. Okay, got the inner cover on. I do have a few bees right here, but I'm just going to bounce them in the grass, and they're going to make their way up. And then we're going to put the cover on them. And the last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put them some sugar water in the front. Be right back. My chicken is sneaking over there and enjoying my pollen patty. That's not going to work. Get off of there, girl. You can't have that pollen patty. Does it taste good? You like that honey in it? Mm-hmm. Stay away from my pollen patties. Okay, let's get back to finishing this up. Okay, I'm going to remove these little jars that I had on top of the nucs. I'm going to go with these bigger ones. Now, what I like to do when I'm using these, because if you have a weak hive, I wouldn't even suggest using this. I would use something that feeds them on the inside, or a jar that fits on top. But what I do to keep from the bees robbing so much, I'm going to pull out my little spacer right here. I put my feeder all the way over to the side to where no bees can get in right here. Then I take me a reducer and I put it all the way against there. So now they just have a small entrance to guard. And then I could put this bottle in here like this. So in order for some bees to rob this, they would have to go in the entrance, go inside and rob it. So the key is to keep them away from this edge right here. But this is both of these are fairly strong hives, so they should be able to guard that very easy. So I'm just going to take this one. She's fanning, trying to call the rest of the bees in. Come on, move out of there. Put the entrance reducer. Now they got a small entrance they can guard, and we're going to feed them. So, new hives. We've got a pollen patty, some sugar water. A lot of your nucs will come with a good food frame, but these are some nucs that I pulled out of hives that were fixing the swarm, and I didn't really take that much honey out of the old hives. Okay, so if you had some nucs and you're interested in how to install them, hopefully I helped you out a little bit. Other than that, happy beekeeping. Thanks for watching Cajun Homestead and Beekeeping. And don't forget, please like and subscribe. Thanks, guys. God bless.